So what's going on with all you? I don't have much to tell. We just, like I said, we worked on working all day.
Yeah.
Beesway, how's it going? Beeswax. Oh, and I played around on Twitter too. Sucks, how's it going? My trolls do not have as much energy as I do. They might be crazy, but I'm determined. And determined beats crazy every time. Everything else crazy beats everything else, but determined beats crazy. Soroka logic, as people would call it. I just make it up as I go. I don't really care what people think. It's funny. Socks, what's up? Red Princess. Oh, it is. Yeah, okay. It's late enough. Vamps are out for the night. How's everybody doing? Careful, careful, careful. We'll look for it later. So if somebody might have snatched it, it's possible. Because we did not take it with us. Did we? Wait, I feel like we would have though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we were out. Wait a second.
Did you set it down somewhere?
It's possible. Because I don't remember. Oh, can you check my short pockets?
Yeah.
I don't know why I wouldn't feel it. Thank you. She goes, sure are. Alright, Muggsy, welcome on. I'm tired of losing things when we don't have anything. Whatever. Things are going well now. We'll be able to replace that within a week. It's going to be weird making this much money. It's an average amount of money. But it's weird making money. It'll be weird just being able to make ends meet, finally. It'll be weird. Feel like I don't deserve it. Work my butt off on here. Eyes open to eyes shut and barely make a dime. It'll be weird to sit on my butt for 8 hours a day and go home with enough money for rent and food. Survivor's guilt. Doesn't anybody have... Come on, what do you got going on? I'm not that interesting right now. Not in this moment. I'm here to hang out with you guys. What's up, Leia? I think they're afraid of getting roasted. I ain't gonna roast you if you're nice to me. I'm nice to people that are nice. I'm not a mean guy. I'm mean to people that are mean to me. Are you nice to people that are mean to you? I'm not nice to people that are mean to me. I'm nice to people that are nice to me, though. She goes, what'd you lose? Battery. Portable battery. It's a little brick. See, like, that's what I mean. It's like, how do I say this? When you're being fake with me, if you don't push the envelope, I could probably tolerate it. I do know when you're fake and when you're not. But if you don't push the envelope with me and you're not trying to be buddy-buddy when I know that you either don't care or that you just want something, as long as you're just nice. I mean, do you like when people are fake with you? You know what I mean? Nobody likes that. So, I like when people are nice to me. You like when people are nice to you. Let's be nice to each other. And if you don't really like me, that's actually, I mean, that's okay. Right? Like, that's real life. That's totally okay, obviously. Just be nice. Just be, like, courteous in my face. Like, let me put it this way. I was thinking today. I was thinking about something today. Lame, that sucks. Yeah, it does. Haley Berrigan, welcome. I was thinking about something today. So I'm going off on the trolls. On Twitter, I'm going off on the trolls. And it's pretty fun. It's a lot of fun because since Wilkes-Barre, so if you don't know, when I was in Pennsylvania, I moved in a dude to live with us who I had been living with, who I had known for about 3 years, and absolute nut, and I had no idea. And when he moved in, he took everything he knew, like all the psycho tricks, and blasted them on me, and I just lost it. Right, I totally went like left field, but I learned a lot, and I survived. And what I got out of that experience, coming out of it, and Kate and I have made our amends. We worked that out. But what I've come out of that with, trust me, it's not like I'm walking away feeling okay about it at all. But I'm making an effort to, as quickly as possible, just focus on now. And because Kate is there, like, that she's in the present, that is my permission to be able to be in the present. I don't have to seek the permission of other people who've been hurt by other people. I didn't hurt you. So, let it go. It's between me and Kate. It's none of your freaking business. We get it. You're a social justice warrior. I think it's awesome that you're fighting for your cause. But what I will say, I really do. I think it's awesome. That's good. But you're barking up the wrong tree, because we work things out between us. Go after someone who's actually doing that. But when it comes to what happened under that roof, I learned so much about what they do and how they do it. And so that unfortunate education that I wish I never got has taught me how to handle the trolls, because I know every little thing they're doing, and it's so elementary, because the dude we had living with us is a freaking professional. And these people that are trolling me I call plebs. They're so stupid. They're not even that smart. Um, and so, through that I can just play with the trolls, and I'm not near as triggered or bothered by it as I used to be. And I'm finding that as I go throughout my day, is they get tired, and they can't handle it, and then they disappear for a couple of hours, maybe to go cry in a corner. I know it's not to work. We all know that. But I'm very proud of myself, because my whole career, I was always blocking people and running away, and I was so scared all the time. Whereas now, I'm standing up to my bullies, and I've got no problem facing them, and I finally am smarter than them. And I mean, I always was. I just, in my heart, it was very difficult to accept that people could be vile on that level, and so I didn't have a perception of it until we moved that guy into our house. It was like a snap wake up to, whoa, this is real. And then for a couple of months, Caitlin and I felt like there was no possible way out. But then we found our way out, and now it's like the world has opened up, because that pit had been trying to consume me for so long, and it found its way to me, and then I found my way out. And now being out, I say, okay, now I'm ready for the climb. Because I thought I was climbing this whole time. It was other people were putting me on a treadmill, and I let them put me on a treadmill. And I don't anymore. I run so fast, so hard, I'm fighting it, and at the same time, turning back and just making sure they stay behind me. And so the conversation I want to have on that perspective. Welcome on, everyone, as you're coming on. Not even a conversation, just a little speech, I guess, is I'm catching wind about people dumb enough to actually believe they could take out a class action lawsuit on me for emotional damages. And I am laughing to myself so hard, thinking, number one, you're coming into my broadcast. You can't sue me for emotional damages when you're poking me. It's one thing if you walk into a business and you're mean to the waiter, and the waiter is mean back. But when you're on social media, that person is not a business. It's a human being. So how do I put this? if the day ever came that these slow people actually tried that, that would have to be the most hilarious court case in U.S. history. It would literally be a troll on the justice system, which I think we all know it would never really come to be. But not only would nothing change, but they would be going home with change in their pockets for wasting all their money and a whole lot of people's time, as usual. And it's funny because people are so used to watching the influencer pay for everyone's mistakes, play Jesus, die for everybody else's mistakes. And I'm not that guy. And I'm very interested to see what turn that takes. But at the same time, as Kate and I are getting more acclimated to regular life, it's really turning into just that, trolling. And I've made a vow, I'm not blocking anybody. There may be a time in the future, because you know how people like to push the envelope. There might come a day when someone is being too inappropriate, stalking me like in real life, or who knows, that I'll have to block one or two people or what have you. But in the meantime, I'm not blocking anyone. But there are two people I had to mute so far. One, because the girl is clearly extremely emotionally damaged and coming at me incessantly. And I don't always realize when people see me as larger than life, especially not being big or famous or anything. It's like a cult following. It doesn't always register for me that people get hyper obsessed with my life like this. So when they do, sometimes I'll be talking or like I'll tweet at them, and I'm thinking, okay, they're thinking of me as a regular person, so I'm tweeting back at them. But then their responses clearly say, I'm seeing you as something different. And when I say larger than life, I don't necessarily mean that in a good way. It's not always in a good way. Sometimes it's based on something bad or a perception they have that's poor of me. So I made a lot of progress, whereas before I was very snappy, and I would just block, or I would this, I would that. And now I'm evaluating the situation. I'm playing with the trolls. I'm starting to see who stands where, who really has a problem, who's seeking out a problem, who is a problem. I like to say that nobody's a problem, but some people, they might not be a threat to me, but me engaging with them makes them a threat to the public. Not that my behavior, I can't control someone else's behavior, but I don't want to exacerbate a problem. So I try to evaluate when someone's just trolling me, and when someone legitimately has a mental issue, and then make an effort not to engage with that. But at the same time, there has to be some sort of restrictions for people, because when you look on Twitter, some of these people have the most severe mental illnesses, and it's clear that they are completely off their rocker, and there's no filter. Like, you guys saw how I was. How about how I was in the past when I was completely controlled by that dude? Nothing. Nothing. There has to be some accountability or some system of protection to keep people like that off the internet. But it's not there yet. I think things are still getting built out. But it also has to make you wonder. These people that talk like that. Now, when I dish it, I'm returning it. Right? So I don't dish it unless I can take it, and I can take it pretty darn well. But there's a lot of people out there who will dish it, and then they can't take it. And when they get it back, they go broken wing. Oh God, hey no, my dead mother, my this, my that. I'm just sitting here laughing to myself, like, you squared up with me. You stepped into the ring, and now you're complaining. Now you're playing victim? You ain't a victim. You attacked me. I'm responding. And every time you tag me, that's called a response. If you don't want me in the conversation, you don't want me to hurt your feelings, don't come at me and then keep tagging me. it is very clear to everyone. You're looking for attention. So I'm just giving it to you. Careful what you wish for. So, I leave it at that when it comes to Twitter. And why do I say it this way? Because I am very, very proud of myself for finally standing up for myself and just doing what I gotta do, taking care of business, and having fun with the trolls. They lost. There's no such thing as them getting an upper hand. And the moment I ever thought that was possible, that was the moment I started to lose my mind. Was believing the way that they do, that life could be any worse, or that I should let life get any worse. I'm good. And there are some people out there, guys, that they're going to come at you in life. And you got to be able to stand up for yourself somehow. I don't necessarily recommend doing it the way that I do. It could draw unwanted attention. But to me, there's no such thing as unwanted attention, as long as I can handle it. Because I do believe in the graces of God. And I definitely believe in karma. On some level. Karma being an operative word. And so, when I know someone's being passive-aggressive with me, I'm not playing the game. People want me to play their game with me, box me in, put me in their sociopathic, corner. I just don't go for it. Twitter's fun. So, Twitter's fun. Very fun. For a bear man, you gotta see is overnight though, going from the tent to this, it's a lot of, everybody has different personalities. My personality has a wide range of emotion. Alright? I got a big head, right? That's what people say. Got a big brain. So that brain goes a lot of different places. And I like to share them all on social media. I don't have one persona for you. I don't have a fake thing to show you. What I like about social media, and Caitlin and I were having a conversation about this today. There we go. Is I want to make sure that social media is my main income. That I can be myself at all times. In my main job. That I can be myself at all times. And in whatever part of me, whatever I'm feeling at that point, to let it all out and to be able to be myself. And then that any extra income or other parts of life or my lifestyle or this or that maybe I come off with that persona, with whatever persona fits that particular area of life. And there will always be naysayers, and there will always be people talking behind my back or to my face. But I am finally the man that people will not say it to my face. And that's a smart move for the preservation of their BS persona. Good. I'm gonna be me. I would recommend you be you. The real you. And don't be coming at me like I'm something that I'm not. Because you don't know me. And I'm going to say that with love. There is not one singular person in this broadcast that knows me. Caitlin is the only human being who has ever even come close to knowing me. And you don't have to take disrespect to that. I know I'm relatable to a lot of different people in a lot of different ways, in whatever way it is for them, whether they love me or hate me. And I ask about you guys, and you won't talk about yourself. You don't want to tell me anything about you. What does that lead me to talk about? Me. I'm not interested in creating a false blanket statement about an agenda having to do with something that I don't have the context on nor the right to speak on. Now, the time may come. I may become more educated on these things. People may open themselves up to me. But until then, it's not really all the way my place. And so when I do, it's because I've delved into it and I'm passionate about it. And me not being passionate about something that you care about does not make me a bad person. That's just roping somebody in. That's manipulation. Hey, everybody else is doing it, or everybody else believes it. Well, you believe it too. This is how it has to be. This is the way it is. It just makes sense. Just do it. It's been a really long time since I've seen the sheeple. It's starting to wake up. I'm starting to wake up to that. I definitely agree that there's a whole lot of crap going on that needs to get fixed. I also see just the scary level of bandwagon mentality that exists in our country right now, where people are hopping on trains because it's getting them views on Instagram or followers, or whether it's hating on somebody or loving on a people, and it's not even real. It's just so pathetic. And I got a problem with that. But I'm not going to call out anybody in particular. You know who you are. And for the people that really are in support of their causes, and that really believe in what you believe in, good on you. That's awesome. I will also say, to come at me and tell me how I need to or how I should use my platform, go find another puppet. Because what you're trying to tell me about how your lives matter more than mine, I'm getting mine together. Don't you worry. When my life is on track, at least as much as some of theirs, because they have their lives more on track than mine is, when my bills are paid, or at least there's a roof over my head, I'll take some concern. I'm not being overly selfish. I'm making sure my bills get paid. I'm making sure we have a roof over our head. We're getting squared. And then I will definitely have time for your cause. But for you to have the audacity to come to me and tell me that while I am struggling to get food in my mouth, that it is irresponsible that I'm not promoting your cause on my platform. I've never seen a worse form of entitlement than that. I am not your property. I'm not your talking head. I'm not a piece of your agenda. I'm an American citizen. And I got plenty of freedoms. And America doesn't provide me with those freedoms because I'm a human being. They're my natural freedoms. I give America permission to have me under the guise of their country. Because every human being is their own person. And it is you that grants your republic permission to have you as a citizen. Just remember that. The states run federal, not the other way around. You matter and you exist. People fighting against this corruption right now, I get it. I can relate to it in more ways than you know, or that you really care about. I do care about you. I have to get my own life situated. And sometimes that includes me sharing my feelings. And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it includes me having a conversation about how fun Twitter can be, now that I finally have conquered the worst of the worst. And they are the worst. It doesn't get much worse than that. It doesn't. And to give an example, Ellen DeGeneres is being defamed right now, as you guys all know, I'm sure, or some of you. And I remember back when they were first doing it, a couple of weeks ago, people were going at Ellen DeGeneres on Twitter and saying, for every comment I get about what something Ellen DeGeneres has done, then I will donate this much money to this cause. And, like, just terrible. Like, freaking, scum people. It's terrible. And then, Ellen's not perfect. She's a pretty mean person. But my point stands is people are going to war. And they don't even care if someone dies. Like, Ellen DeGeneres has the personality type that she would commit bad things to herself if something were to go wrong, or as they're defaming her like this, especially when she's been this voice of positivity for the world, and she may be a mean human being, but how much more has she provided? You don't have to like the woman, but how much has she provided to others? And instead of focusing on that, right, how much more good has she provided? It is all of a sudden, she is not perfect. Let's take her down. You're going to topple, how do I say this? It's like a kid climbing the cupboard for the cookie jar. You're going to get halfway up there, and you're going to bring the entire cupboard down on yourself. And you think you're an adult, and you think you're smart, and you think you know better. Dad's at golf, mom's at yoga, irresponsible parents. And you're at home climbing up on that cupboard. And then it falls down on you, and let's just say you're not okay. And that's what people are doing with society right now. They can't wait for that cookie. Because they think they deserve it, and they think they're going to get it, and they're not going to get it because it's not how it works. And you're going to bring the entire system down on itself, and the only thing that's going to be replaced with is the platform we're sitting on right now, if you catch my drift. And it's going to be of your own doing. Me personally, I don't need a cookie. Alright? Vegetable drawers at the bottom of the fridge. I got enough strength to open up the fridge. I'll take the vegetables for now. I gotta build my strength so I can climb the counter and reach into the cupboard so I don't bring the cupboard down on me. When I'm big enough to reach the cookies, I will get the cookies. People keep bringing down the whole house just to reach that freaking cookie jar. Whatever. The point is, I then saw, Kate and I were in CVS, and we saw Ellen DeGeneres on the cover of, CVS, on the cover of Us Weekly. And, is Ellen DeGeneres, is Ellen a monster? And I'm laughing to myself thinking, so I'm a micro-influencer. I don't exist. Got a cult following, sure, got some high retention, that's wonderful. This woman is monumental. She's huge. And what's being done to her is essentially what was done to me. When I was, I'm very small. But it was the same thing that was done to me on a super, 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 super micro scale. Where people didn't like me, and they wanted to replace me or topple me or what have you. And then when they saw a point of weakness, so Ellen being stuck at home changes everything, right? All of a sudden, now they're going after her. When I was homeless, everyone came after me. That's when the fake change.org thing came up, the fake petition. That's when they started making all these fake videos, and they just ran with it, and they've been running it with it for years, trying to defame me, waiting for me to disappear, give up, hurt myself, whatever. And I wouldn't do it. And there's not going to be an Us Weekly cover because I'm a nobody. And it's awesome. The unintelligent people who fought so hard to defame my name have, on accident, taught me so many lessons about life and prepared me so much for my future in media. They've taught me how to be a chameleon on a level that is near impossible, and I have learned how to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God, without having to give more information than people are comfortable with. And I still struggle with that sometimes. I still make that mistake. But for the most part, I've become really good at being tactful very quickly. And I'm so grateful for all of it. Because now that we're moving on, we've become socially untouchable. It may not appear that way, but we are. Oh, what you see socially, it may touch you. It will not touch me. That's not sociopathy. It is, I know me. I'm on my own 2 feet. I do know the scope of the situation. And I'm not going to let popular opinion stump legitimate morality. I'm a Libra. Checks and balances exist. Ooh, I'm going to screenshot that. 99 messages. Thank you guys. And I might not be religious, but there's definitely a moral code that exists that, is like natural law. And a code of ethics that comes with this industry. My goal, and I am accomplishing that goal, is to essentially topple the corruption within this industry through transparency and an integrity-driven process of just saying things how they are, not letting passive-aggressive narcissism and baiting and honey traps, like, these things need to go. They are not needed. They are not necessary. They poison the water of an incredibly beautiful industry, art and culture, performance. It's beautiful, and it's not made to be the agenda. And it was not invented that way. And the waters have been muddied. And it's my belief that transparency of the human person is the only way to, wash things clean. Because politics and religion and the world's dramas have found their way into arts and culture in such a way where it's not near as wholesome. There's so much large form influence on people to have a certain opinion, believe a certain way, without even having context. And that as we continue to sell out and lower our standards, we continue to miss out on others. How can you recognize a fellow artist if he or she or they are among a sea of other creators who make the exact same thing? You're creating something that no one else is. Deep inside you. Are you showing it? Are you bringing that out? And if not, why aren't you? Temptation exists for all of us. Do your best not to give into it and continue to be yourself. You're worth it. And yeah, I'm mean on Twitter. If you're going to dish it, get ready to take it. And if you can't take it, don't dish it. But when it comes to most of life is pretty simple. I'm a really nice guy. Ask the people who actually DM me. It'd be nice to have some public positive conversations, but people are too busy being sheeple. There's no individuality anymore. Just everybody claiming to be individual while they act like everyone else. If we really want to come together as a nation, it's going to start by looking in the mirror and not just in the phone. Try a live stream. If you need the attention that bad, try the live stream. You'll get the attention and you'll look at yourself. Just a suggestion. The reason I'm being so closed off right now is because it does hurt a lot to know that there's not much I could do for people right now in my life. I do feel guilty that I can't do more. And I mean, of course, I know that I could, but look at my position right now in life. I have to focus on me. I have to get on my feet. And some people would say, well, you could just post this, you could just post that. And I'm like, I could. It's just my personal integrity. I have to be more educated on what's going on in order to have a stance. And I barely have 2 minutes to think, let alone to have a stance. And there was a time where I did have the time to do the research and have a stance, and I squandered that time, and I used that time, to get myself forward and to also help people that I wanted to help. And I wasn't ignoring the people who needed help that, were to the wayside or this or that. It's that I didn't see it. I didn't know anything about it. And I didn't do, like right now you guys see me, I'm very immersed in everyone else's content. I'm very immersed in the culture, and I'm immersed in the community. Whereas in the past, I was very scared of the outside world and of other people. So I didn't look outward all that much. And people took that as vanity or narcissism when really it was just, it was my way of like feeling things out. And whenever I felt things out, and I went to just even touch a rose, I would catch a thorn. And I don't want to go out there. What's going on out there? And for me, that's where I'm at with situations such as Black Lives Matter, situations having to do with Antifa and all this other stuff going on. It's like I know I have my opinions. When I have a video that does go viral, or a video that does get trending majorly, that is usually when I know that I'm doing something wrong, not right. Unless I'm very educated on the subject. So I had made a video about the George Floyd situation, and it blew up. It was very positive. For those of you, some of you may have seen it, but there was like hundreds of comments and multiple dozens of thousands of views. It's a great video, and I could make videos like that, like this. For anyone that doesn't know, I've done it in the past. I could do it again, and I did that recently because I was like, oh, okay, well, I could do this. There's a little bit of desperation. And, it is, but I don't want to be a sellout, so that's why I don't do it anymore, is because so many people sell out because they want that high. They're like, well, and for me, there's a lot of people who see that I have that power, that I have that influence, I have the ability to do that, and they're so pissed because they wish they had it, and they see me not using it and they think I'm stupid. I'm just not as selfish as you. Not you in particular, right? If it's not you, it's not you. I want to be responsible with my platform, and I'm actually being more responsible by staying small while I learn more about life and about the world. I won't give the platform up. I may have to put it away for a time, depending. We're going to see. Just if we're working and whatnot, I don't know. But I'll be keeping my finger on the pulse. Don't you worry. I just want to make sure that now knowing that my voice is heard, that people don't just hear it, you listen and you learn. Because the wise man that gave us a ride here, he said to me, there was a day in your life when you listened. You are now at a point in your life where you listen and you learn. And that's the difference. That is why you listened to me and I felt heard. He said this to me. He said, that's why I don't believe what they're saying about you. Or that this is why, my opinion won't change of you or whatnot. And I took that to heart. And I teared up a bit because it's the truth that I'm getting back to myself. There was a time when I sit and I heard the rustling of the trees. I had peace in my heart, and I'm getting it back. But now with that peace, I also have wisdom. And with that wisdom, I want to spend the next 75 years of my life giving back. And in order to give back, I must have in order to give. And so I must now enter into what will appear to be the most selfish time of my entire life for the next 1, 2, 3 decades. And I will advocate for what I believe in and what I have the opportunity to research and understand during that time. And then maybe I get to give like big Bill Gates. I might never be a Bill Gates, and I probably won't be because I didn't start at 10, 11, 12 years old in a garage. But better late than never. And I'm not really all that late. So I see so much opportunity and so much that I can do. I've just been so held back by the world, and there's just a lot of things I haven't learned, and I'm also so stubborn. There's things that I just will not give up on, or people that I won't give up on, but I'm starting to learn better and prioritize. I'm also making an effort to be careful with who I consort with from here on in, and not to get it in with the wrong people. It's just hard to tell when someone's good and when they're not. It can be hard. The more equipped that I become in life, the more people try to hide their agendas from me to get what they want. And I'm thinking to myself, if people are trying to take advantage of me this much when I have $15 in my pocket, what are they going to do when things are abundant? What are they going to do? But what I'm thinking even more so of is, how many hearts can I change? How many of these people can I convince that there's a better way? And that although it's easy and comfortable to take what you want, there's so much more stability, emotional fortitude, personal value to be found in getting it with integrity, to receiving it as gift in integrity, or seeking it out and creating it for yourself with love, and utilizing the help of others as opposed to using them. When you get a job, is your employer giving you something, or are you giving them something? Are you asking an employer for help, or are they asking you for help? By all technicalities, the employer is asking for your help. And so realistically, if they're asking for your help, it must be them that defines the terms, or at least it's supposed to be. And yet, you find nowadays a lot of employers will ask questions and put a lot of the work in the hand of the employee, and a lot of the problem solving in the hand of the employee, oftentimes without even having proper training. And then those businesses often they'll get their government bailouts. Like there's no accountability, and it is supposed to be the employer that serves the employee, not the other way around. And I think our country has very much lost that understanding of the capitalistic piece of our system. So as I sit here, I'm a bit of a libertarian, for anyone who doesn't know. So I believe that I see both sides of the coin, and I see where a lot of people come from in their own right. And at the same time, it does go both ways. The employer's got to do his job, her job, their job. The employee has to do his job, her job, their job. There's a lot of expectations being put on employees that don't belong to them, and a lot of expectations being put on employers that don't belong to them. And while we're all fussing and fighting, the employer nor the employee is seeing the money. The government's not seeing it either. And that's why I say to you is, do your best to expand your mind and not just look at the government as if they're a problem or a solution, because that is the greatest way for us to forget that the government is made up of people just like us who have made some rather different choices, and some of them, they know how to just get what they want and get out. And I will say to my capitalists, I will say to my right-wing Americans, as you crap on and defame refugees, illegal immigrants in general, mind you, most of us are immigrants, you get upset that they come into our country, they get their money, and then they take it back to their country. Well, let me tell you, there are endless people in our own government, as I'm sure you know, but ignore, or maybe you don't know, so I'm educating you, that they will be born in our country, make their money on our government, and then leave and take it to another country. The practices are not all that different. Corruption is corruption. They're both wrong in my opinion. To me, don't come to my country and create further debt for us. Oh, if you're going to come here, stay here. I'm open. I mean, me personally, I'm open to that. Stay here, work here, make a living. Good on you. Build your family. Good for you. So long as you provide more to society than you take from it, why should you be considered illegal? Personal opinion. At the exact same time, if you're going to take it and run back to your country, don't bother coming. Because I'll be standing with those rednecks. But if you're going to come here with an open heart and you're going to work your butt off, I'm open to that. But I don't want to be enabled by the system, and I'm not open to enabling other people. On the flip side, is quit being ignorant, because your ancestors had to fight to be here as well, and you fighting off other people makes you, not such great people. And then on top of that, while you steal and defame and hurt others for the sake of your own paycheck, what does that say about you? We need to start finding ways to meet in the middle. Because while we continue to fight over our own ignorant agendas, whether they're on the left or the right, nobody wins. And the only people making off with the money are the criminals. Poor and rich. So think on it. Because I love yous. And Kate and I are going to go take a shower. We're going to get settled. And starting tomorrow, we're going to have a job. God willing. Thanks for listening. I hope one of you or some of you received some value from this. I don't think I was really in the mood to, because I'm here with my arm crossed and everything, like, it was a really long day, so I don't think I was really in the mood to have a conversation. I was much more in the mood for just giving you guys a little speech, a little rant. So, thank you for listening. I'm going to go now. If you have anything you want to say to me, I do have direct messages. And I will read them tomorrow, because I had a great day and I'm going to have a great night.